And staying in the United States, the FBI director has raised serious concerns about a possible attack in the U.S. Testifying before a House budget panel, FBI Chief Christopher Wray said concerns about a Moscow concert hall-like attack had escalated.
But now, increasingly concerning, is the potential for a coordinated attack here in the homeland, akin to the ISIS-K attack we saw at the Russia concert hall just a couple weeks ago. We also need funding to counter the threat from the People's Republic of China, a government sparing no expense in its quest to hack, lie, cheat, and steal its way to the top as a global superpower and to undermine our democracy and our economic success.
On March 22nd, armed gunmen barged into a concert hall in a Moscow suburb and opened fire. 144 people were killed in the deadliest attack in Russia in 2 decades. The Islamic State Khorasan claimed responsibility for the attack. Now the FBI director cited concerns over terrorism to help persuade lawmakers to boost funding for the agency, stressing that this is by no means a time to let up or dial back. U.S. officials have been worried about the possibility of an attack in response to Israel's ongoing war against Hamas in Gaza.
When I sat here last year, I walked through how we were already in a heightened threat environment. Since then, we've seen the threat from foreign terrorists rise to a whole nother level after October 7th. China continues its relentless effort to steal our intellectual property and most valuable information. And that is just scratching the surface. As I look back over my career in law enforcement, I would be hard-pressed to think of a time where so many threats to our public safety and national security were so elevated all at once. But that is the case as I sit here today.
Now, Director Wray also pressed lawmakers to renew the surveillance program FISA, saying that it was key to help fight against terrorist attacks. The program, which expires on April 19th, permits the United States government to collect, without a warrant, communications of non-Americans located outside the country to gather foreign intelligence.
It is critical in securing our nation, and we are in crunch time with our 702 authority set to expire next week. So let me be clear, failure to reauthorize 702 or gutting it with some new kind of warrant requirement would be dangerous and put Americans' lives at risk.
But the FBI director is facing strong pushback from congressional Republicans. The agency has become the prime target for former President Donald Trump and his allies. And Trump has called on Congress to slash the law enforcement agency's funding, alleging it unfairly targeted him while going soft on his political enemies.
I'll be honest with you, and this pains me to say this, but I don't trust you. I don't think that this is necessarily a funding problem that we have for your agency as much as a leadership problem. And
you previously stated in a Senate hearing in December that it would be unworkable to require the government to get a warrant before collecting Americans' private communications. Yet former NSA lawyer George Kroner recently estimated the warrant requirement would force the FBI to get about 3 warrants a day. Now, Director Wray, you've got more than 30,000 employees that work for the FBI. Are you seriously saying that 3 warrants a day is too much of a burden for the FBI to protect our Fourth Amendment rights?
This issue is one of the most important issues. So could you please say why it's so important that we pass this and not get caught up in a Trump issue because he's mad? He authorized this law when he was president. So come on, let's not play the hypocrisy. Could you please tell the public at this point, or us, where we are and why it's so important?
So Section 702 is indispensable in keeping Americans safe from a whole barrage of fast-moving foreign threats. It is crucial to identifying terrorists in the homeland, working with or inspired by a rogues gallery of foreign terrorist organizations who have publicly called for attacks against our country. It helps us find out who these terrorists are working with and what they're targeting, and it's what we need to stop them before they kill Americans.
Now, a bill to renew the program was blocked by a conservative revolt on Wednesday. In fact, earlier that day, former President Donald Trump had called to kill the measure, saying the program was illegally used against him to spy on his campaign and against many others. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.